not gonna have a timer today. We're just gonna go straight into it. And I think, yeah, our players are a little bit... Wow. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. This is... Yeah, so this is what happens when, like, a single camera is off. I wish it would keep everything in the same freaking order, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that! You didn't have to do that, thank you. I was like, I was about to try to figure that out. That works. That works. Okay.
D&D while driving. That's dedication.
I mean, if you need to, just like, make sure you cover up your camera if you need to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't want to dox yourself. Wait, that's
Yeah,
fine.
we can't see anything, so that's good. Can't see out windows or anything.
I don't know, I saw a tree doxed.
Oh my god! It's a tree!
Whoa.
I know that tree!
Clearly not in Arizona.
So good. Okay, so. We ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready
dive
to
in?
rock and roll.
Last week, you awoke to creatures drawing out your energy, and apparently they had been the ones who drew you into whatever this memory was that you all became a part of. After a quick slaughter of these creatures and a little bit of investigation on them, a very tiny creature suddenly appeared in everybody's rooms, jumping back and forth, trying to figure out what was going on, and just told you to follow. And being D&D, everybody was like, yeah, we trust the little electrical dude.
Of course.
So bleeding a little bit, you know, of mental anguish going on, you jumped through his portals, and as the crystal kind of cracked around you, suddenly you paused within the teleport and ended up in the shatter, or the collision, and met some other creatures who were somehow related to the ones that you had fought just moments before. As our little electrical friend, Zane, tried to weave a new portal, you guys fought to the end against these creatures, and larger ones were coming, and even larger ones behind them, as Zane had finished the portal, finally getting you into the crystal room, where everybody, for the first time, had a chance to meet each other, talk, be introduced, not only to each other, and eventually Zane properly, but also to, I am never going to get this pronunciation right, C.R. Saenti, who appeared to each of you in a different form, and during your conversation also gave each of you a different bit of information / inspiration / you have a choice. If you wish a faster path towards advancement and a faster way to gain any kind, or a faster way to get towards your goals, then this being had given you the option to follow the path that they had started for you. Or, once you had completed your level up or, you know, advancement, you could walk out the portal and go back to exactly where you had started. And I believe everybody had decided that they were going to follow the path set before them, by C.R. Saenti. C.R. Saenti.
Yep.
And in a summary, that is exactly what happened. Did I miss anything super important?
Nope.
No, don't think so.
I can hear you. I'm just making sure. Okay. So at the end of the session, Zane left, telling you that he would be back momentarily as he had a gift for you, and left everybody to advance and take advantage of this room, which has the ability to kind of harness all the different arcane energies and knowledge that you all needed to get to level 2. So before we start, is there anything that you guys want to do before Zane reappears?
I know I was waiting for him to get my horse.
Yes, which will appear when you walk through the portal.
Never.
Is there things in the room like lab equipment, books, anything to investigate really?
There is nothing. There is the crystal dome. The floor is the same kind of quartz crystal. And then the massive crystals on the other side of the room, which is where Sierra is the being, we'll call her Sia because it makes it really, really fucking easy, or they, Sia, came through. Like that was their portal. That's where they walked through. But other than that, this room is completely empty except for you.
What about my backpack? I only brought my rod and then I have a backpack, so am I gonna get my backpack? Fill my
Good
stuff.
question. It's a good question.
Yeah, like what? What am I gonna eat? Where's my bedroll? Like I have everything at home.
Yeah. So I will say, like, it's been about maybe an hour since Zane left.
Yeah.
So everybody's had a chance to, get what they can from this room and advance, absorb what they could, and in turn gaining the benefits of a long rest because this room is just that fucking cool.
Super cool.
And yeah, if everybody's not got any questions and is only worried about like the stuff that they left behind or want to speak to each other,
Well, I think I would have brought everything I had with me through the portal.
yeah, I would imagine that EOA would probably have grabbed everything.
Oh, I already had all my shit on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had a backpack, I just threw that on and went through the portal.
I mean, I just woke up and some weird thing was on my face. Like, I mean, I was gonna defend myself, so like I wasn't like, well, I'm gonna get my backpack too. Oh.
Got my
sense.
bag's got all my trinkets on it in it, so it's always with me.
Not gonna leave that behind?
No, I'm not leaving that behind. That's always on my bag.
I think if it's been an hour, I would probably get bored at some point and just like grab a ball from my backpack and just start bouncing against the wall.
Okay, that works. That
Is there
works.
any like the big crystal in the middle? Is there any like aura around it? Is it glowing or twinkling or anything weird like that?
Roll Arcana for me.
14.
So it's strange. It does have an aura to it, but it's not as if this crystal was imbued with magic. It's more like the crystals and this room itself were created by magic. It's not just an aura. It's a concentration of arcane energy that seems to have created this room. And as you walk, especially Dorus, just given his size, just the pressure of the weight as you walk sends out those little ripples in the fractals of the crystal, and it echoes through the whole room and up into the crystals, and you see, or you more feel the magic and the arcane energy like ebbing and flowing as the light echoes through, almost as if the light is a direct reflection of the energy that is contained here.
Doris like notices the floor changing as he walks over it and like gives it a poke with the staff and sees if he can like poke into it, or is it really really hard? Or
it's hard. It is diamond hard from what you can tell.
This place is very very strange.
I've
How
never
long
seen
are we
anything
going to
like
be-
it.
Sorry, what was that?
Said I've never seen anything like it.
How long are we going to be stuck in here?
I suppose until we could find a way out.
There is no door, right?
No.
I believe they come back for us. They said they have gifts, yes?
Sure, but it's been about an hour.
So as you say, it's been about an hour. Crackling echoes through the chamber, like the spidering of cracks in crystal panes. You see a small portal begin opening up within one of the larger crystals on the edge of the room, and a voice getting louder as it opens. 51 hours, 27 minutes, 3 seconds past 28 minutes. Every hour is a day and every day is an hour. Tick, tick, tick. Great adventure awaits. And bolts of energy drag behind Zane as he comes through the portal, who appears even more blurred, if possible, than he did the last time you saw him. He walks in dragging a bag. Gifts! I have them! I heard. Do you need gifts? I have them. One for each of the Not Vexa variants. As the portal closes behind him, the bolts pulse before cutting off, and Zane's appearance becomes a little bit more substantial. Not quite, still. He gives a shake all over, or at least you assume he did. A blur moves around the room, and suddenly, in everybody's hands, is a small gift, wrapped in dark clouds with a bow of lightning. He slows down just enough to where you can see him dancing back and forth from one leg to the other. Behold! I'm gonna knock my mic over tonight. Behold! Zan raises his hands in a grand motion, and small lightning bolts dance from his hands, reaching up to the ceiling of the dome where a cloud begins to form, crackling with energy. Go on! Open them! Don't be shy! It's too late for that, much too late. We are all bound, like the light that dances in the storms. Bound together, bound for greatness, bound for wondrous things. Yes, we are! He eagerly awaits as the cloud above you grows.
Okay, so I'm gonna open my little thingy-majingy, whatever it is. And I'm gonna ask Zane, so what
Little
about my
bow of-
backpack? How can I start?
Little bow of lightning.
Like, as I'm doing it, I'm gonna be talking to Zane and say, how do my backpack? Can you teleport and get my backpack? Like, how can I have a great adventure?
A
If I
backpack.
have my backpack.
The thing that you put the things in. Oh, I
Yes,
can get
the
that for
thing
you
you-
when we go.
Oh, okay.
I'll grab that. That's not a problem. Did anybody else leave anything behind?
A horse.
I never would.
A horse. Those are big. Okay, I can get the horse. What's the horse's name? Is it friendly? Is it going to try and eat me?
His name is Atomos.
Atomos. Okay. Is he going to bite?
Not if you're not mean.
We'll figure this out. So as he's dancing back and
Maybe
forth,
give him an apple.
apple. He just kind of blurs a little bit, bouncing around as he's trying to remember what the hell an apple is. Right! Yes, the red thing, juicy, very yummy. I'll find one. So you pull one into the bow, and the lightning, as the bow of lightning unravels, seems to absorb into the cloud that it was wrapped around. And before the cloud can float away to join the storm above you, it coalesces into a ring of lightning that's slowly spinning around a small ball of energy. Flash of light blooms above you and thunder rumbles through the room. Zane blurs with excitement and bounces to each of you. I knew you'd love it! I crafted these! I did! I weaved and I wove from the tapestry of possibility! He suddenly blurs in a complex pattern under the brewing storm, almost like dancing through the air up into it, drawing some of the energy down, leaving tracers of light before moving on to the next person. The energy dissipating slowly from the design that he wove. Well, what will you use it for? Endless options! Well, not endless, but almost endless. A multitude of choices, a myriad of solutions contained within!
What am I looking at?
A possibility!
Possibility.
A quill, a cooking pot, a cloak, a third arm? Though that would be odd. Very, very, very odd. A tiny star, a bow, a sword, a clock, pants, a crown, a friend and confidant. Beware the last though. Very, very unpredictable. It's very, very unpredictable. But, you know, friends are forever. Friends in forever and ever. Every possibility he mentioned, he mimes or uses the energy around him to imitate the item. Hand wraps, foot wraps, a tiny storm, a cup, a necklace, a mask, a blanket, a pillow, a chair, a band, so many choices. He dances around the room for a couple seconds, then comes back to you all. Well, what have you decided on? Wait, let me guess. And he points to Jax. You chose the third arm. And then he points.
Hold on there, Firefly. What? I chose a what now?
I'm guessing. You chose the third arm, didn't you? And he goes over to EOA. You chose the friend. Dangerous, but exciting. Over to Nemu. You chose the sun. Over to Dorus. You chose the crown. So just, you know, it sparkles and does all kinds of things. And goes over to Sully. You chose the storm. Did I get it right?
Throughout all of this, my expression has not changed.
I
I'm gonna grab a little bottle out of my backpack and drink it.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go back to paying attention to this little creature.
yeah, I was like, what is like? Thinking to myself, well, this is madness.
As he is explaining all this, Doris like tries to shake the present and see if he can hear anything inside it, and like lifts his trunk up to smell it.
So at this point, it's just the ring of lightning that the cloud and the lightning bow had like turned into, with the little ball of energy sitting in the center.
Yeah. Oh man. So I'm gonna say, sure. A storm. How did you guess?
Very, 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 very cool. This is one of my favorites, obviously. So all you got to do is you just got to think and take those thoughts and that thing that you really, really want, and you just give it to the possibility, and it'll make it for you. So this is where the conversation that I had with each of you about your magic item will come into play.
Oh.
So I will give everybody, if they have a last minute change or suggestion to what they had chosen after, you know, learning you can have a third fucking arm and a friend, or a little baby storm.
I
So
would
if
like
you-
to
I already
know
had
more
a
about
friend.
that.
I just
didn't.
can't get to him yet.
Yeah, I would like to know more about this baby storm.
The baby storm?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like that. And he like dances up again from like this energy, and just kind of see swirls like when you have a sparkler at night. And he goes up, and all of a sudden he disappears in the cloud, and lightning just bursts through it, and you hear a clap of thunder, and it should be really, really loud. It's loud, but it's not deafening. And he just kind of flutters back down. But it's small, and it contains enough energy to do extra things.
Such as what?
So it would be, for you, it would be very similar to the Pearl of Power that we talked about before, unless you wanted it to do something else. So that is up to you. Okay.
I start to take the lightning bolt off mine, and I go, "I chose crown, you say?"
Well, you don't have to. I was just guessing.
Yeah, so I try and open it.
Okay. So are you focusing on what we talked about before for your magic item?
Yeah.
As far as like an
Like
empowerment?
as I'm opening it and thinking about it, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a symbol kind of thing.
Yeah.
The
So it
item
is
was, but-
it is literally it's a possibility in a little ring of lightning with a dot in the center of energy that you can turn into a magic item of your choice, technically. So Dorus, as you're kind of looking at it and you're joking with Zane about the crown, and you've taken off the ring. Suddenly, the small ball of energy floats right in front of your eyes, and it flares out and draws the ring from your hand, which becomes suddenly empowered as the mote is brought in, the energy arcing and jumping, morphing into a new shape. Suddenly, This ring is an 8-pointed star that is constantly shifting as the points become more and less pronounced. And you're just staring into it. It has drawn your attention in as you're trying to, now that you see the shape, bring it into you to use for what you had intended.
Did Jack summon a burrito?
Jax could have summoned a burrito.
Yeah. Delicious.
Crunch wrap, it looks like.
Yeah.
I know Ioway knows exactly what he wants, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna flavor it as something like, I was hoping for like, ooh, a new friend, maybe. And it just absorbs into me.
Okay.
I guess I was the friend all along.
Yeah.
So it can still be a friend and do the exact same thing. If you're picturing this as a friend to have the exact same effect that we had discussed, then we can make that happen.
No, that was just a joke.
Okay. Just making sure. Sure.
I like the full power. I think it's pretty cool.
I
And
love
little-
I love the idea of having a little friend, but Zane did give a warning about it in his own little way.
I already have a friend.
You do. You have two. You have your horse and you have Nemu. So, Ioway, as you're focusing on this possibility, you feel your body suddenly weakening and your reactions slowing, as if you feel like if somebody tried to engage you in anything, in a conversation or in combat, that you would have like this pause before you were able to react. You try and fight through, and the possibility suddenly expands and covers your body and then absorbs into you. You feel a rush through your entire body, and suddenly it pours out through the soles of your feet, and beneath you, you see a large rune. Let's see, Jax. Where is Jax's head at for this? Oh no, you're driving and eating and trying to hit buttons.
Nope,
I'm sorry.
we're good.
Okay,
Yeah, that's why I got the crunch wrap, because it's really easy to eat and drive,
that makes
because
sense.
it's all self-contained. He's just kind of like really confused. When did I pick an arm? And why the hell would I need another arm?
Arms are very useful. You can, you can cook with one and fight with another, or cook with one and write with another, and then you still have a free hand to scratch your nose.
I mean, that might be nice for you, but I don't quite get it, I'll be honest.
All right. Well, I can be wrong. That's happened before. I've been wrong many times. So maybe I was just wrong about your guess.
I mean, how did you guess what gifts that we needed?
Because I have great insight.
Are you a mind reader?
I would like to make an insight check against that.
You can make an insight check and say.
I'm just joking.
Well, I mean, let me ask you a question first here. Why the hell are you more blurry now than when you were here before?
I've been very, very, very busy. I can't even tell you what it takes to weave balls of possibility. It took me like 17 days.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, playing with your balls is one thing, but why are you blurry?
It's like the energy starts crackling around him as he gets incredibly self-conscious of it. You see,
I'm not saying it was a bad thing, just kind of hurts my eyes to look at you. Just trying to figure it out. Usually things are either one place or another, but you're kind of all woozy.
Where I'm from originally, it's just energy. It's lots and lots and lots of energy, and we rarely actually have any kind of physical form, and it's very hard to hold it, especially when you're bringing energy through with you, and you have so many things to do, and you really need to hold that energy so that you can open portals and weave possibilities and take people places.
Right. So, I'm not going to try to understand it, I'll be honest. So, back to this arm thing. What am I supposed to do with it?
Well, obviously I wasn't great at picking exactly what it is that everybody wanted, but all you need to do is you need to think of something that will help you and aid you in something that you really, really desire, or will help you gain your goals. And you give that information to the possibility, and then it'll turn into that.
You know what? I think you hit the nail on the head right there. Thinking is kind of a thing that's kind of a key thing for me. I mean, I hate to be unappreciative of a third arm, but I mean, you know what shit happened to me. You got anything that can help me remember shit?
That one's not a problem at all.
That'd be just damn dandy.
Just give that information to the possibility, and it'll do all the work for you.
So I just think, and it'll appear?
Yeah, you just picture that as what you need it to be, and then it becomes that.
Oh. Alright. Well, thanks, little Firefly.
Very, very, very welcome. I like helping. Helping is fun. So, Jax, as you attempt to focus with this little firefly, and I love that nickname, bouncing around you, the possibility suddenly flares in front of you, drawing in your sight. And everything disappears but the very center energy of this possibility. And unlike everybody else, you hear, "General, the time has come. Don your mantle and return." And I would ask you to roll right now, but I know you can't. So let me pull up your character sheet. I'm gonna make a roll.
Nat 20.
Yeah, I've decided.
And that's
I'll
when he
roll
put
the
the dice
card
out the
however
window.
many. I'll roll the card however many times I roll will be better.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so you got a 23.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was
Sweet.
a wisdom saving throw. You rolled it rolled an 18 for you.
Thank you.
As you hear this, within the center of the possibility, you see impossible greens in a canopy above. Violet light glowing from the bark of giant trees. Flowers of fantastical sizes and colors just wash the landscape in front of you. You don't see anybody, but you do hear, "We hold for your insight." And then the image fades, and a longing ache fills you, weakening your spirit. And as your sight returns, the possibility has disappeared. But everyone else will now see it's not quite a halo, but you see that the sphere that was once in the middle of the possibility, now larger as it has absorbed the ring, and just spins around his head ever so slowly. I will go to Soli. What have you decided on?
Well, I did like the storm idea.
The storm idea?
Yeah, I
You want a
like
little-
it because I do, because I feel like I think it fits me pretty well. I like the idea of a storm,
Okay.
like of all my emotions and everything like this.
The storm now has multiple different, things that go on after you said that. All right, so Soli, The ring suddenly expands in front of you. The moat, still floating right in front of your mind. The ring wraps around you, and suddenly red energy erupts from you, flickering with flames, absorbing into the ring. And just as suddenly as it expanded, it shrinks back into the moat, turning into a little floating storm cloud. Though instead of brilliant white, blue, and gold lightning, it is arcs of red and small licks of flame within the storm.
Beautiful.
So the storm will grant you what we had talked about, but it will also reflect your emotions if you so choose.
Whoa, that's really
And
cool.
you can pretty much have it wherever you want it to be.
Yeah, that's
Um,
awesome.
You found something different?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh gosh, are you serious?
I'm a kid that goes
Okay,
through
okay.
runes. Like, I wouldn't know shit about the things I'm picking.
That works. Okay.
Bring on the
Um,
chaos.
I know,
Oh,
this is freaking chaos. Nemu. As you kind of see everybody going and or having their possibilities transform, and everybody having an item, or for Jax, an orb that's just slowly circling their mind, and this rune bloom beneath Eoe, and then Dorus, though he doesn't know it yet, in his eyes is this 8-pointed star that's just slowly changing its pointiness? What is the word for that? You know, you would draw in the points and it would become like more sharp, and then you can draw them out and then it would be almost a circle. And then you look over to Soli, and she now has this little cloud that she's just playing with almost. And you can't quite decide on what you want, and you're so wrapped up in the advancement and trying to think about your goals and what you really, really want, especially as a child who is just fascinated with dragons. And suddenly, surge of magic erupts from you, expanding out, and is drawn into the possibility, empowering it further and further and further and further. And as the possibility almost seems like it's going to explode from this burst of energy that came from you, it flashes a brilliant light of the same colors as the dragon that you saw. And appearing is it was like a little pottery thing, kind of, that looks like a dragon.
Yeah, potion bomb.
Okay, so we'll call it like a beautiful. It would be, for those that are very much interested in artifacts, this would probably be the piece de resistance that you would find if you were to ever find something that is just so elegant and beautiful. And it's just, all it is just a little, what might be clay pitcher, but on it are just beautiful etchings and detailed of dragons in flight, twisting around each other. There's a couple of clouds here and there, but it definitely is in the same colors that you saw the dragon in the vision.
Cool.
And as you hold out your hand, it just lands lightly on your hand. And you know what that can do. As everybody wraps up, I need Nemu to roll a charisma saving throw.
Yep.
Eoe to roll a con save.
Yay.
Soli, I need you to roll Arcana. And Dorus, I need you to roll Insight.
11.
I got a 17.
Doing great.
13. Right.
Okay, so nobody rolled above a 20, right?
No.
Okay, I will start with Dorus. As you are looking around and you see everybody with physical items and things, physical things that you can see, you become incredibly confused as to what just happened, because you had expected something that would give you a boon in combat or to aid your now team members, and you're trying to figure out what you did incorrectly in that way that, you know, those that you have studied with would have you going step by step by step by step by step to find out at what point did we not carry the one. And as you do, you just kind of feel energy draining away. You lose a single spell slot. Nimu,
Just
the
first
surge.
level, or I guess that's all I have.
Yeah, first level. Yeah. Nimu, as this energy finally coalesces into this beautiful little picture, you feel the energy drain of the explosion of magic that happened. So you also lose a spell slot.
No.
Ioway, that feeling of weakening, you lose your reaction. I believe you have a reaction. I can't remember what it is. Action surge. You lose action surge. It is better than going blind. Solely, the energy that it drew from you, that fire, has also drawn a spell slot from you.
Oh my gosh.
Jax is the only one that passed.
How rude.
Well, yeah, so rude.
So rude. But you got something really freaking cool out of it.
Yeah.
So as everybody has now created their possibility, the storm above you suddenly begins raging, lightning flashing down and striking the crystal, causing prismatic light to surge around the room. Thunder crashes and the sound grows in intensity as it bounces within the dome. The energy of the storm replaces the energy you were providing into these motes. So you feel, for Nimu, your item would fill with whatever it is that you choose at this very moment.
What do you mean as far as what it can do?
Yep. Your little pitcher would fill with whatever it is.
Okay.
Fighter didn't lose a spell slot. Fighter lost his action surge.
It'd probably fill with the stuff that I just drank
Okay.
while the firefly was talking.
So water. What are you drinking? You're 10 or whatever. How old you are?
I was giving little potions by my mom before I left.
Oh.
I have a little potion.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
For Roos, as you see everybody's energy draining, you can now use the 8-pointed star to save one of your comrades from losing that spell slot or that action surge. You just
think
see.
Since Solis is like the most visible, the red energy, try
Okay.
and suck up that energy and save her from it.
Okay.
Put on
So,
her-
so as you're watching and this flame is crackling around her, you see this emblem suddenly become a physical thing, and as the energy is being drawn from her, it's just cut and goes right back, and it is reabsorbed. So slowly you get your spell slot back.
That's cool.
So at
Thank
least
you.
Dorus now knows that it's working.
Ah, yes, this will be handy.
Yes. Very much appreciated.
Ioway, as the storm surges with this power, suddenly the rune beneath your feet reappears. And you just feel almost as if you could glide anywhere in this room, almost as fast as Zane could.
I will go ahead and test it out.
Okay. So as this rune blooms beneath Ioe's feet, you see him begin running. But it's not step, step, step. It's like as he steps, it kind of slides every single step, moving him just that much quicker. And instead of the light in the floor sparking out like it did when Dorus was walking, it's almost as just a wave, a light wave on a lake, as the light just kind of flows out. Jax, if you can still hear me, probably my fault because I haven't gone back to the screen yet. No, I don't know if Jax can hear me.
Nah, the camera's messed up on my end too.
Okay, so I'll wait for Jax.
Oop.
So Zane laughs in glee as he dances with the lightning, riding it up into the cloud, and shadows of his form can be seen with each flash. He slides down the last bolt to hit the crystal floor as the storm abates. Possibilities now complete and formed. So exciting! It was all worth it! All worth it! Dorus, after your symbol had coalesced and done what you had intended it to do, you now it's almost as if it's a constant in your vision. But as us humans, and probably most creatures do, we can always see our noses, but our brains have tricked us and have learned to not have it in your visible sight. And within a short period of time, if you choose, you can ignore the sight of the symbol. Though it will not stop it from activating when you need it to. And let's see. Of course, Zane doing Zane. As you improve, grow, advance, the possibility can become even more possibilities. Pool your potential, your power, experience, and share it with the possibility. It will weaken you, but only for temporary. It's just temporary weakness. So you all now have a chance to work through whatever just happened.
I'm just gliding across the floor.
Yeah, so cool. Such a cool image of EOA, like step skating, right? Not like skating, but like so cool.
I think I'm gonna just mumble to myself, "It's not going away." I'm gonna take another drink of mine.
Oh
Of the
yes.
picture.
Yeah.
I just look at that ball with everything that's like moving inside and just thinking of like my family and my uncle, and just thinking what the future holds.
So you can describe what this little storm would do
Yeah.
as your moods change throughout the campaign, really. But if it's doing anything specific right now as you're thinking about your family, specifically your uncle, which not but an hour and 10 minutes before had appeared before you.
Yeah.
If it goes through any kinds of changes, what would that look like?
So right now, just thinking about like the Fugonians and like destroying the land, and just thinking what happened to all of them, to the Kingsing. Just feel that anger rising, right? Like it feels like that ball starts to get hotter and hotter and hotter, and then I start
Little, like,
super, yeah, starts
lightning
to
of fire.
Yeah, and then I take a deep breath, say, not today, not today.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. As Nemo's over there just like sipping his little pitcher. Not going away. Well,
I have same problem. I can still see, but not actually there, you know. He like tries to reach out and touch it in his eyes.
So everybody would see, like, in Dorus's irises is just this ever-changing 8-pointed star. It may stay the same, a single color. It might change. I don't know, Dorus. Would it change colors depending on situations, or would it constantly just be this one symbol?
Probably would be just like the symbol and like a golden look to it, maybe like slightly yellowish light, and then like when I use it, maybe like brighter light.
That's so freaking cool.
What color is your eyes?
Like black, elephant eyes. I don't know.
Because for some reason I was just picturing purple.
Oh, that would be.
I think it'd just be like whatever normal elephant eyes are. I think they're just black, aren't they? Or they have really big corneas or whatever.
Elephant eyes. Oh, they're gold.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense then.
Or like orange.
Now look at that.
So if they're this orange color, then you have like this gold light in this 8-pointed star that's just constantly shifting and maybe even spinning on itself, and that's really cool and also incredibly terrifying at the same time.
Sounds about right.
Maybe you should drink some of this. I'll try to hand you some of the like liquid that I'm drinking. Your eyes are doing weird things.
I think they're supposed to do that now. I passed. Thank you, though.
What do you mean you passed?
I choose not to drink strange liquids from you. No offense.
Little dragon thing.
Okay, it's your loss.
I have heard stranger danger before.
So you all have a point of inspiration. Thanks to Sympaticos.
Hey,
Yay.
what's up, Sympatica?
He said not to Nemu, but I'm nixing
Oh,
that.
damn it.
Oh,
'Cause I am
harsh.
God.
We'll
upset.
give it to this tiny thing instead.
Yeah. Give it to the
Right,
little.
give it to the little owl.
Yeah.
So cool. Wow. I want a refund. So I don't know if Jax can hear us. It looks like he's having trouble loading.
He was muted.
He just unmuted.
Yeah.
Could be switching to computers of his own.
Yeah.
He just passed out.
Yeah. It's Taco Bell hangover, right? Just passes
Yeah, have a
out.
crunch wrap in his mouth still.
Yeah. So good. Well, the time has come to move forward to the next adventure. You'll be words. You'll be pilgrims to the next age. Pilgrims! So exciting!
The next age? What does that mean?
So we cannot go back where we came from, no?
Well, yeah, you can go back where you came from if that's what you really choose to do, and you don't choose to, if you want to choose your own path, you are more than welcome to.
These are separate paths. Go back to life, go back on an adventure, right?
Yes.
I would like to see where this might take us.
Might as well. I didn't get all dressed up for nothing.
What did you get dressed up for?
An adventure.
Or fighting
Obviously.
originally.
I think fighting is this way.
Hello.
Hey.
So I was able to hear everything.
Oh, okay, good.
Yep, up until you said, like, here we go.
Okay. So, if everybody agrees to
Oh yeah,
move
for sure.
onto the next stage of the path that has been set before you, Zane walks over to one of the large crystals and begins pulling some of the light that's still kind of echoing from the large storm that is now gone. And the inside the crystal, the portal begins to open, the same fractured light of his portals as always. And he turns around as he completes the portal. Don't forget, pilgrims! And he just kind of gestures to the portal. I'll be right there. I have to go get backpacks and horses.
I'm not sure what pilgrim means, but I'll follow along.
Important pilgrims, don't forget! And as you all step through, his voice just kind of echoes through the portal, and he steps through as well. This transition is much, much easier than the last one you had. It's almost as if sending you to your own plane of existence is a little bit easier than trying to tear you through multiples while you're being hunted.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? So you step through, and the light of late afternoon illuminates boulders. Beautiful, striated with veins of natural minerals and shaped by ages of rain and wind, but just big rocks nonetheless. The portal, as it's closing and crackling behind you, suddenly flares back open, and now rushing through is Zane, and he just bolts. And chasing behind him is Adamos. And as soon as he rushes forward and encounters all of you, he rears up in panic, slams his hooves down, scattering small stones, throwing his head back and forth, and complaining very, very loudly.
Whoa.
And a backpack, as you see a little blur, suddenly appears before you, Soli.
Hello.
Gotta go! Good luck with the big horse! Not nice! Doesn't like energy. Bye! And Zane rushes forward, and the portal, just crushes on itself. Yeah.
You didn't give him an apple.
So, as you're trying to calm Adamos, he's still snorting at you and just complaining.
Hiding behind the elephant.
You would know Adamos.
Yeah, but he's angry.
He is angry and he's much bigger than you. This is true.
Yeah, I don't want to get squished.
So, tell us what your horse looks like.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I did not prepare this. I think a brown horse with black fur. How do I say this? Like the hooves or something.
Oh, okay.
The legs. And then there's just spots of lighter fur all over him.
Oh, very interesting. Very cool. So at this very moment, you, from what you can see, are surrounded by boulders. And as everybody is trying to keep an eye on Adamos, you see now where Jax had come through behind you is a towering mountain. I'm going to drop a map in the folder in just a hot second. But as far as you know, you are back on Avenvon in Rallios. So I will give you a moment to kind of figure out what you want to do next.
Is this mountain recognizable from...
You can roll history. It's
Okay.
green. Everything here is... Anything that's not just solid rock is very, very green. It is... It's so much... It's more green than EOA has probably ever seen.
I'm just wondering if we're on the other side of the mountain range from where we're from.
Right.
Oh, that's a bad.
Okay, so no. That's a bad.
Yeah, 7.
No, you have
Do
no
I-
idea.
Do I recognize where it says?
Whoever thinks that they would recognize something this green and lush,
I certainly would.
It's pretty
yeah,
beautiful.
it is beautiful.
Does it
You,
have any kind of recollection to me?
you know what, Jax? You roll insight. You don't get to roll history. Sully can roll history.
So we're somewhere green. That's all we know about
That's a
where we
7.
are.
17.
17.
What is this alien world?
Yeah, yeah. Why are these rolls not coming?
It's
through?
so green.
Why is
Okay, there it is.
why is
Wandering
things
around
not
looking.
yellow?
Jax, your mind is still kind of stuck within the strange moment that you had during as the possibility was changing, and this is not bringing anything new to your mind. Soli, you are from a place that borders quite a few mountains. Some of them are very green and, well, covered in forests, but not just green, as if every spot of dirt around here is blooming in some kind of grass or small shrub or ground cover along with bushes and trees, and just it's nothing that you specifically know of. You have heard of places this beautiful within the split, which is the areas between Intora and the Tulis, but you've never seen it personally.
I want to fly up and take a look at what's around.
Perfect. Now I will drop your map in.
You're putting this in the drive folder?
Yeah. It's uploading. Okay. So as you fly up, before you, it's just over the boulder. It's literally just these boulders are blocking your line of sight. You see a beautiful valley. The first thing you noticed off in the distance is a towering building, reflecting the gold of late afternoon off cobalt-colored tiles. Smaller buildings surround it, some with these tiles, and some with what look like more mundane building materials. And a road is leading to it, into this city with this tower. And closer, where this road begins, looks like a small farming village between you and the tower. It doesn't seem too far off.
This map is beautiful.
Thanks.
Okay, you said over boulders, so we're near boulders.
Yeah, so you were literally dropped into an area.
Yeah.
So you couldn't be seen from anywhere else. Like, your line of sight was blocked from where you are, but the line of sight of everybody in this valley were also blocked from seeing you. So it's literally just a couple of hop, skips, and a jump over some boulders at the base of this mountain until you're in the valley.
Hey, guys, you should see that. Oh. I'll come down and tell you what I saw.
What?
I'm coming. I'll just flap down and let the group know what I saw on the other side.
I guess I would start climbing one of the boulders to get a look at this.
I'll go back up there and fly up and stand on one of the boulders next to him.
Is everybody following?
I am.
Now, obviously, you wouldn't know the city names or that everything is there. It's just to give you an idea of the green and kind of like the layout of this land. So as you all climb over this boulder, and it seems to be like at an angle to where you can almost slide down the other side. You get to the top and you see this small village a little bit of a distance off. It can't be more than an hour walk, maybe even that. And it's surrounded by ranches and farms, and you kind of get an idea that there's multiple different kind of animals and also fields of crops that just in a very large area around a small group of buildings, little homes dotted around. It's this huge area that's being ranched and farmed.
I guess I'll be careful with the horse heading down the slope.
Okay. He could probably navigate it better than most of your group. But we won't make any rolls. I would say that everybody would be able to a few slips, a few slides, but, you know, holding on to one another, you'd be able to easily make it down past the last boulders of the towering mountain behind you and into the valley proper.
I'll just be kind of flying around, scouting and stuff.
Okay, you want to roll perception? And how high are you flying? I need dice.
Oh my god, my perception blows. I'm not a wise 14-year-old.
No wisdom, gang.
That's right. 11.
11.
I'm probably only flying maybe 60 feet or so.
Okay.
Not too far from the group. Just enough to get a better vantage point.
Okay. So as you begin flying up, anybody else? I'm sorry. Is anybody else doing anything before I describe what Nemu sees?
I'm just trying to keep the horse calm after the events that just happened.
He will continue to complain, but not as
Well,
loudly.
I'm just looking around and observing because it looks so familiar, but not really. Although, like, it's all the greenery that reminds me of home. So I'm just looking around.
It would remind Soli very much of the Wolfden Falls,
Yeah,
but without the falls.
without the falls. That's very
Yeah.
sad. I love the falls.
It lacks the falls, and I would say in this moment, it hurts because while this area that you're in lacks the falls lack much more in this very point in time, especially
Yes.
after seeing your uncle. Anybody else?
Yeah, Dorus would be smelling around with his trunk and trying to recognize if he smells any like villages that he recognizes or any of the plants are like, you know,
Very cool.
recognized to him.
Okay. You see this? Like my
Jack's gonna approach Doris. So, I see you using that snooter of yours. How good is that thing?
It's quite good, but I don't
You can
know.
roll for that, by the way.
Roll for smelling.
Yeah, I don't. Perception, is that an
Yeah,
investigation?
perception is smell.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it's with advantage if you're trying to do it by smell. I think that's an elephant
I
thing.
was just trying to remember how to get advantage. 23 total.
23. Holy shit. Okay, y'all continue your conversation and I'll come up with what the hell you smell.
Yes, I smell quite well, but I'm not sure if I'll recognize anything here, so it's not very helpful if I don't know it already.
That's pretty neat. I've never met an elephant person before. Are you still called an elephant?
Loxodon is the correct name, but
Oh,
elephant person works.
Loxodon. I'll try to remember that. But I probably won't.
And he
But,
reaches out to the trunk to like try and shake Jax's hand with the trunk.
Right. Do you normally shake with your trunk?
No, I do with people uncomfortable with my species to hopefully get over a hump.
Right. Well, just don't hump me.
It's figure of speech only.
A minute.
Ah, good. Sorry, I don't know the customs, so just playing it safe.
So Dorus, you smell incredibly familiar smells of very common crops. You smell corn, you even smell some kind of flowering crop. It might even be lavender or something that you know is used in many, many herbal ointments, and some underlying peppermint. But the biggest thing that you smell at this very moment, kind of over the stuff that you expect in a place like this, you know, dung from the ranches and that kind of thing, is you smell the tulsi plant, which is a very specific flowering shrub that, as far as you know, is incredibly rare, but you smell it very heavily here. It is used in some of the more rare potions that you've seen being sold in the city where the council is. So that is the Kimberly Tulsi, Tulsi shrub. And it's almost as if it's being farmed here, which you didn't think was a possibility.
I try and relay this to everybody. Yes, very clearly large farming area. This whole valley very fertile. I smell lots of livestock and such, and crops growing like crops for food. You know, I forget words sometimes. But I also smell something unusual, which is very rare flower. Makes me think it's being farmed here too. I smell very heavily this flower. I recognize the name and everything, right? Like I know it.
Yeah, you would know the name.
But yeah, I think it is
I would say you
tulsi
would know it
plant.
from
I
your studies.
don't know exactly where it comes from or where it grows, but I think somewhere on East Coast, Eastern.
Would I recognize this plant?
I'm not even gonna have you roll. I would just say no. There is some rare plants that you know that grow in the deserts, but strangely enough, the smell that Dorus is describing, it's not an overpowering scent. It's a very subtle scent from the desert plants. It would smell like after a lightning strike. It's just a very natural scent that you can very easily overlook, which is why it's a rare plant, because it's very difficult to find.
Oh, we didn't
But
know
it's
if
not
we were
this
like
one.
looking at one.
Yeah, you wouldn't. This one is definitely the one that you know of from where you're from. Wouldn't be growing in this valley. There's no way. It is too green.
The plants where I come
tulsi. I
from
know
are
the smell
more
from
prickly.
potions.
Whoa. One at a time. I'm
Sorry.
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 Who's going?
I just want to tell him that I recognize the smell from like being used in potions and used in alchemical stuff.
I haven't seen plants like this. The ones where I come from are a bit more prickly.
Talking about.
Are you not from this planet either?
I am from here.
But you're not a part of this area?
No. Where I come from, there's sand for miles.
So it's a desert.
Yes, you could say that.
Well, you can too. We all know what a desert is. It's all right.
I fucking love Jax's attitude. It's so good.
Me too.
So Soli's cloud that is now following her or in front of you?
Yeah,
Which
I think
would-
I have it on my rod because I always have it with me.
Oh, okay.
So you always
So it's
carry
just kind
it
of
with me.
swirling around the top of your rod.
But yeah,
It just seems to be flickering, and within the typically red lightning that's now in her little storm, you see flashes of like a pale green and even like a deep blue at times flashing within. It's almost as if, it can't decide what to think at this very moment. I'm waiting for Tim to actually settle in so I can tell him what he sees. But we'll have a break at 9:30, guys. By the way. I'm trying to be better about taking breaks.
No worries.
It's hard when this story is so good.
Yeah, for real.
Is it good? I'm having a
It
really
is.
hard time finding words tonight. Thank you. That makes
I
me
love
feel
it.
so much better.
So ready to like go out and explore this valley.
Me too. Me too. It's so beautiful.
That's good, because you're going to need to. Any day now. So, as you continue walking into this valley, now everybody starts to begin catching these smells on the wind. It's at some point recently, for those who are familiar with farming, Soli for sure, 100% would be familiar with farming. Dorus, I would assume from where you're from, would be very familiar with it. As the land that you're from is incredibly fertile as well. Something has been freshly tilled, and you smell the fresh scents of freshly turned dirt and soil. You can almost picture the worms and the small little creatures that crawl within. I'm just gonna keep filling time. Fields. What, baby? You?
Can I sense like the direction of this dirt smell?
Yeah,
Fresh
yeah,
dirt?
yeah. The wind here, because it's a valley, seems to come from the north, but it swirls just a little bit here at the south end of the valley, which does close off behind you. There doesn't seem to be any way in this valley, and Nemo had pointed out the road that goes into this small village, but he didn't mention anything that goes into the village from the south, from any point. You see absolutely no road coming in from the south as y'all are walking up. It's almost as if nobody tries to come here. You get closer and closer to the fields, and out here towards the mountain itself, as it's still slightly going lower in elevation, are rows upon rows of incredibly tall, not quite trees, not quite just stalks. If you were in higher elevations, you end up with very stunted trees. And these look very similar to that, but each row is blooming in a different color. One row is a very, very light blue. Another is a brilliant fuchsia pink. Another one, the flowers are a pale green, and then yellow, and then a pale purple. The only one that seems to be really, really bright is this pink flower. The others are just pale. They almost look like what you would assume a grapevine would look like if it was kept, cropped tight to the main stalk. It's very strange, but beautiful. As Nemo flies over... Really?
Yep. I can't eat any other crap, so.
A sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, I can't eat sugar or anything.
We just had dinner.
It's actually good.
So as Nemo, you're flying over, you see these fields. You see more than they do as they start walking through some of these.
Totally enamored by all these colors.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and the smell is unlike anything anybody here has experienced. You see, Nemu, some creatures looking to be putting up their tools for the day from tending the fields. Though it is something you've never seen before. They are hedgehog-like. I don't even know if Nemo would have heard whispers about these creatures. This one you can kind of hear on the wind as it sings a little bit to itself, and it echoes towards you. And it's just putting up its tools, and are you going to try and avoid this creature so it doesn't see you?
After I see it, I'm going to fly back down until it land on Doris's shoulder. And let the group know. There's some creatures over there. It looks funny. Nothing I've ever seen.
Does it look friendly?
I can't tell.
Can we see what he sees?
Yeah, as you continue walking, now just a little bit ahead of you, you see the back of this person. You see there's spikes from like as a hedgehog, but they're laid down very, very flat and tied around their back is a cloak. And you see a toolbox in one hand and a basket wrapped around the other arm. And they're almost skipping as they're walking back towards the village, just kind of singing a tune. And they don't seem to notice you unless you call their attention.
I don't think I've ever seen a walking prickly pear.
Yeah, do I recognize this race at all?
Out of everybody, you might roll history for me. I am having to refresh this page every time I want to see one of y'all's rolls.
Yeah,
It's getting
11.
Very obnoxious. Yeah, 11. Okay. You do know of creatures, that just there's different races that just don't wish to be part of a greater society, especially something as big as the main towns that you work in or study in. You've heard of a few of them. These you would know as hedge, but you've never seen one. You also would know of other creatures, the raccoon folk, and just a few others that we would consider critters, but here in Avonvon are just other races that tend to keep to themselves and stay out of society's way.
I think it cut out for a second, but did you say hedge?
Hedge, yeah.
Okay, if I don't know them specifically to be dangerous, I would call out to them. Excuse me, friend.
The creature suddenly stops, and you see kind of their spikes all of a sudden go from laying flat to poking up, and their cloak kind of is now sitting on top of their spikes. And you hear a squeak, and they turn around. Hello?
I just slowly keep walking towards him. Like I'm purposely trying not to hide or like be evasive or anything towards him. Yes, we are new to area. Can you tell us what is nearest town?
The nearest town is where'd my page go? Is Haven. Where did y'all come from, travelers? What are you doing in the valley?
We came from a portal of sorts.
We kind of just are here.
It is a long story. This is true.
Well, okay. What are you, I hope you don't find this rude, but, what are y'all doing here?
Yes, we're lost. Are we near Entora or Lunitora or anywhere? Have you heard of those places?
Well, of course. We're technically now a part of, Entora, but that's quite a distance, and you're
So-
lost.
How far are we from Entora? Like how is this?
Count. You're at least a 10-day travel to Entora itself. But it's very dangerous. We don't get many visitors here, unless they're pilgrims. But you don't look like pilgrims.
No,
We
I
are
don't.
pilgrims.
I think we were told that we are pilgrims.
Don't say it out loud.
Like hell, we're pilgrims.
I'm a pilgrim. Absolutely.
I don't know why you guys are calling yourselves that. We're travelers. We showed up here through a portal, and now we're talking to you.
Yes, a little pixie tells us we are pilgrims.
Man, my mom and dad made me think all adults were smart. Jax, you're not very smart.
Let me watch it.
Oh, all right.
The creature said that we're pilgrims. We don't know where we are, and thus we're pilgrims. Pilgrims. I'm just looking at Jack. Pilgrims.
Cooked owl.
So,
I'll just kind of sigh.
so tell me more about what do the pilgrims do here? What's their goal?
Well, I mean, it doesn't really make sense to explain it to you if you're not pilgrims. There's a pilgrimage that happens a few times a year, but it's been 11 cycles since the last one, and we didn't expect another one until another 10 or so. They generally make their way to the Temple of the First Ones to meditate and study, you know, the things that pilgrims do.
You'll have to excuse them. They're new to this. I come every year since I was a child.
She just kind of looks at you and looks at the group. She knows y'all aren't being truthful, except for maybe Jax, but she doesn't think that you're malicious.
It's just kind of stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like y'all have been lost in the mountains for way too long.
Why are those mountain crazies?
Yeah.
So
Just
I'm gonna, yeah,
strangely clean-ish.
I'm gonna ask: is there somebody that we can talk to that knows or works with the pilgrims? I mean,
Well, they generally they make their way through Hafen and into Sarantor, but it's a few hours yet, and this isn't the right time to be traveling at night. If you'd
What?
like to come into Hafen, there's beds at the tavern. There, mind you, it's not an inn, but there are beds for those that, you know, get drunk and need to stay a
Is it the middle of
place.
the night?
Huh?
Is it the middle of the night?
No, it's late afternoon.
Okay.
can you lead us? Can you show us how we can get there?
Of course. I'm heading into town now to meet with my family.
So I'll be like, yes, off the Hayfen, and I'll start walking a direction. And I'm assuming it's the wrong direction.
This way.
Right, Hayfen, that way.
You said I wasn't bright.
Follow the prickly pear now.
Okay,
Follow
walk
me.
up. I walk as close to the hedge guy as I. Is it a guy? Girl? Can I tell?
It's a girl.
Okay. I walk as close to her as I can, and I thank her. I say, "Thank you so much for help. We're unusual in this land. We know this, but all help is appreciated. Who are you?"
Who am I?
Do you have a
Ma-
name?
Oh, but yes, I'm sorry. My name is Mita. It's so strange to see so many different types of peoples traveling together. She kind of looks over to Ioe. I'm so sorry. I've never seen your kind.
Hey. I think I'm from the east of here.
Oh, over the mountain.
Yes.
And
Do you
she's
know
kind of.
the desert?
I know of the desert. It's definitely not a place that I would like to visit. It's not conducive to, you know, growing things and planting and harvesting.
Well,
What's
that's
the last pilgrimage this strange as us?
No, not at all. It was very small. It was only a group of 5. But they were very kind. They came through. There was even a human with them, which we don't see often in the pilgrimages, but we actually do have a human settlement here. They've been very, helpful to us. But it was just a tabaxi, a couple of tabaxi, and trying to think of the other races.
The tabaxi, you say?
Excuse me, what did they say?
A tabaxi, you
Yes.
said?
Yes.
No,
There
that
a
was in character.
Yes.
And this tabaxi went to the temple?
Uh-huh. Along with the other 4.
For the pilgrimage.
Yes,
That
for the
we're on.
pilgrimage. You can quit pretending. It's okay.
We will not give specific instructions, only that we were pilgrims.
Yeah, so we just ended up here.
I'm the only one that paid attention.
Well, you're more than welcome to eventually make your way to see the temple. But there's no scheduled events. Anytime in the next, few days.
You said temple of the first ones.
Yes.
Who were the first ones?
Well, it depends on what you believe. Truly, some believe that their gods this was their first temple. Some believe it's just a place where they can connect with Avenvon itself. There's a latent power there. It's quite humbling, really. You should go.
I just might.
Can I insight check to see the genuinity of
Absolutely.
them offering us to go there?
Yeah, absolutely.
In my mind, I'm just thinking, ooh, it must be about the rookie there.
15.
15. She seems incredibly genuine. When y'all are asking her questions and, in between her speaking, she's just still humming to herself and, finding a nice little tune to keep y'all company on the walk as the questions are peppered back and forth and questions are asked. But she seems very genuine. It's confusing to her that people have made their way here without a pilgrimage because it's incredibly dangerous. And usually there is a guide that she would explain that brings people through the mountain.
Don't worry, we're level 2. It's fine.
We're experts.
Yeah.
I hate to press, but you said there's a place of humans?
Yes.
Would they potentially be known as displacements?
Yeah, in the greater Antora empire, yes. Not here. Not here. They're just humans.
Hot damn, we gotta go check that out.
Well, there's some in the town, I'm sure. They were supposed to bring some of their crops in to trade.
So they've been here for a while then.
Quite a few years now, yes. They appeared when they appeared everywhere else. And but it was a small group that seemed to already understand the land. And
Wait. Did humans just pop out of the ground?
they don't grow like our plants, little one.
Oh. Well, that's not what but figure of speech. Anyway, so Jax, keep talking about your people. What happened to the human?
That's a good question. That's what I'm hoping to find out as well.
So you're lost?
Not lost.
Confused?
I just don't remember.
Is it possible to visit human settlement? Maybe they know something more.
I don't see why not. They generally don't have visitors, but I'm sure you can talk to one of the people in town trading and ask if you can speak with them or meet with their families or their village.
Of course we could visit with them. Humans are the friendliest things around.
Right.
Yes,
Friendly.
yes. They can be for sure.
Yeah, I mean, hell, just look at me. I'm like the epitome of friendly, aren't I?
Well, you're a little racist, I think, but that's okay.
Hey,
We can work on that.
it's not racist if you don't know better.
Oh my god.
Not sure how that works.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my god, we just got completely kicked off Twitch. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm okay
So,
with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say to Mira, right? Mita.
And
Yeah, well, Mira, you're very lucky that the humans here are respect for your land. The humans that I know of, uh, are not so respectful. They destroy. They exploit. I don't know.
Well, then perhaps we did get very lucky because they just came and, I mean, it was strange at first. They have strange customs and strange beliefs, and they were just as confused as everybody here was. But you know, we had a nice little corner of the valley that we could carve out for them. It was much safer than having them travel over the mountains. There's no telling what could have happened to them, and they knew how to work the land, and they didn't come with much. They only had a little bit of food, and they were able to sow some different, very interesting crops from them, and add to our bounty. So they ended up being quite they're now a vital, important part of the valley here. So she walks you past the fields, and in front of you, downtown Hafen comes into view. And we will take a break here. I gotta get my ice pack because I'm fucking hot.
Yeah, me too.
And we will be right back.
Bye.
That's
Didn't-
fine.
Things that great oxygen for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all right.
Who
Cut down all the
needs
things that create
light?
oxygen. Yeah.
Who needs to breathe?
You just expect food to appear, not actually have to grow it.
Yep.
In many
My
cases,
food-
anyway.
My food does appear, comes to my door.
This is true, it does.
I buy it online and it magically shows up at my door.
Yeah.
It's magic.
It's magic.
That arcane energy is at work.
So people in this universe, they do Grubhub, but it's delivered on Grubs.
Right.
It's so good.
Grubhubicus.
Grubhubicus. Oh, it's good. It's so good. Ugh, grubs are so gross looking.
Mhm.
Okay, so as Mita continues to hum and sing and just politely answer questions and talk with you all, she brings you into downtown, quotes, Hafen, and you see it has a small group of buildings surrounding a very large, very shallow fountain. Gentle spouts randomly shoot up from it. The buildings surrounding it include what looks like a multi-purpose blacksmith, wide, mostly open building with multiple benches and workstations and a forge. Another building that looks to be a massive, huge stable of some kind, though at this very moment it looks to be empty, other than just a couple of cows and a couple of horses. But there's hundreds of stalls here. You see an open air market with like multiple sections of it. So roof and open air market, a roof and open air market, another one open air market, where it looks like some of the locals have some of their wares that they've made, local meats, local fruits, local vegetables, that kind of thing. Another building, which is a craftsman building. You can tell just by the signs that are on the front. It looks like maybe there's a couple of different types of craftsmen within this one building. A bakery and a simple small building that looks to be a town hall of some kinds, but doesn't look like it would fit many people. But there is an area out front where it looks like the local people could gather and have meetings or celebrations, that kind of thing. And then the last building would be the tavern, which is a beautiful sign that says "Do Song Tavern" across it. You can see a few children laughing and splashing in the very shallow fountain. And as you walk up, off to the edge, you see what you would assume is a father. I need, if anybody is really paying attention to what's going on, I need you to roll insight. I need one person to roll insight. Or anybody who's really paying attention to going on, you choose insight or perception.
I think I'd definitely be paying attention, looking for.
They're both -1
all
for
the
me,
stuff.
but I'll roll.
I've got a +5 to perception.
Nice. Hey, somebody's perceptive.
Well, it's funny.
Wow. Nat 20 though. I need to fix our nat 20 roll that goes on the screen. It's
Yeah.
not. It's so off center. It's stupid.
My
I
first
got a
nat 20.
9.
You got a 9? Okay.
Cool.
Natural
So-
10.
Natural 10 -1. 9 is perfect. So you would get an idea of what I'm saying. Nemu, you specifically, and this makes sense that you would notice this. You're watching the kids play, and first off, they're playing in water, which is a massive commodity where you're from. You don't play in water.
Oh, I'm gonna go join.
You're gonna go join him.
Yeah, I'm gonna join him. I'm gonna go splash my wings around.
So as you just kind of like squawk,
Ooh.
yeah, like hoot in excitement, and you're paying attention to what's going on as well.
I'm gonna come in hot, go splash him, diving right into that.
As
Eyeball.
as you splash in, Jax, you would notice this from a completely different perspective. You're watching the kids, and you kind of see Nemu just fly off and shoot straight into the water, and kind of penguin dive and just splash the other kids as they begin laughing and giggling and begin playing with Nemu. However, you're watching a human, and it seems that it's a father with a young child, maybe 6 or 7. And the father has a very sorrowful expression on his face as he's gently taking their child, leading them into the water, going in himself, and the child seems to be following but not responding at all. Nemu, as you're splashing and playing, you immediately catch that one of the kids suddenly stops playing with you, and the excitement and the fun of just childhood glee suddenly drops from their face, and they look over to what Jax is seeing with his father and this child, and this child is a Vulpin, which is like a fox type race, and walks over to this other child and comes over and reaches out their hand to hold the other child's hand, animatedly talking to them, trying to bring some of that excitement back to their face, and trying to make the other child excited. And the human child just doesn't seem to acknowledge anything that's going on around them. But as Nemu plays, Jax, you're watching this. Ioe, Doris, Soli, Ioe, you get the idea that there just seems to be a few parents out here after hard days at work. Some of them still have their tools and that kind of thing, watching their kids play, or just locals, talking before they head home and do whatever it is that, adults do after a hard day's work. Is there anything, Jax, that you would like to do in that situation? Nemu, are you just going to continue to play and ignore what's going on? And then Soli, Doris, and Ioe.
I think I would play at least for a little bit. Like, just being able to play in water is pretty incredible to me. So.
Hey guys, check out that guy over there with the kid. I mean, something ain't right. And that ain't normal. And I mean, shit, look around. Not much is normal, but that definitely ain't right.
You want to go over their nest?
I think we might need to.
Okay, I'll go with you if you want to.
I mean, kind of whistle.
Hey, Nemu! Come over here.
Okay. Coming.
We might need something cute to cheer this kid up.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Doris wasn't good enough.
that was sweet. So is everybody heading over to the guy and the child?
Yeah, I was gonna go get Nemo out of the water, but he already took care of it, so I'll follow him.
I'm definitely
Just gonna ruffle my
collect
feathers.
water skin of water.
So Nemu comes running over, flying over as he's well, I don't know, he'd probably be soaking wet, trying to dry his feathers as he's walking over. And you still see that the dad is like engaging with the other, the Vulpin child and their child, trying to, engage their kid, and the child is just standing there.
I'm gonna use dancing lights as I approach him.
The Vulpin child kind of looks up in wonder.
Yeah, I'll make like just different colored, like red, purple, and yellow, and green.
And the father tries to, like,
Blue.
gently tilts their child's head up to the lights, and you can now hear as you get closer, "Look, baby, the lights. They're so beautiful, aren't they? Look up." And the child's head is tilted, but their eyes, there's just...
I'm gonna so I'm gonna use message then. Just because I don't want, like, man.
I'm here for it. You tell me what you want to do.
I'm
This is exciting.
gonna use message and send him a message and ask him what's wrong or what's going on.
To the father?
Yeah. Like something like, why isn't he laughing?
The father just kind of looks around, really confused, and sees you all approaching.
I'll just kind of like try to point at myself.
Okay. And as you point at yourself, he immediately he seemed very protective and as if he was going to, you know, how people do, their shoulders square if they feel a threat coming. And sees that Nemo is soaking wet and probably glanced and saw that Nemo was out playing in the water. And he kind of gives like a crooked smile and his eyes are so sad. We're not sure. It just happened. He woke up one day and didn't truly wake.
So he would have had to whisper that, but whatever.
Okay. So
Even if he said it out loud, I would have heard it, I guess. He didn't have to, like, I mean, he probably doesn't know the like how whisper works, right?
yeah, he would have been speaking very, very quietly.
Right. Okay.
Because he doesn't obviously want to be talking about that kind of thing in front of his child, and
That's why I sent him a message.
yeah, and then the other kids. So he stands up and just keeps a hand on his child's shoulder as he stands up to look towards all of y'all, and y'all would have seen his lips moving, but not necessarily heard what he had said to Nemu. He just smiles down at Nemu. Hello, my name is Jack. I haven't seen you all here before, right?
Oh shit, we're not pilgrims. We were told to say we were pilgrims, but we're not.
Or not.
I think the word we're looking for is lost.
Lost wanderers.
I'm not lost. I found a fountain of water. It's incredible. You should go take a bath. Feels great.
Are you in like conversational distance with them now?
Yeah.
I say, I have a bit of experience with strange illness. May I take a look at child?
Are you wearing the symbol of the council?
Yeah, I think it would be like painted on the shield.
Okay.
It'd be like an amulet or something on the robes. I don't know.
He looks at you and I don't mean to be rude, and I do see that you must be a member of the council in some way. But we've taken him everywhere that we know to take him, and nobody has found anything physically wrong with him.
All right, I understand. It's a very difficult situation. I apologize.
How long ago did this happen?
For Starly, it happened about 5 cycles ago. And when people talk about cycles, it's a moon cycle. So it's about 26 days.
So about a month.
Yeah. So 5 cycles would be technically 5 months. We'll just put it that way. 5 cycles ago or so. But he wasn't the first, and he hasn't been the last.
How many? Is it only kids that this has affected?
No. There's been three children, including Starly here, and 2 adults.
Has it been only humans?
No, it doesn't seem to have any. It doesn't seem to matter what you are, honestly.
I look at close into the kid and I say, do they ever wake up on their own?
This is all a new event, and not so far. That the first was, well, you're not from here, so you wouldn't know who this is, but was a very kind man. His name is Glinty, and he was the first. And it seems that the adults can do small tasks if they're led to them, and you start it with them physically, literally guiding them to start it. But the children don't seem to have that same kind of capability. But he, Plenty was 9-10 cycles now.
Have you happened to notice any kind of, a set amount of days between each time somebody new gets afflicted by this?
Not that anybody has been able to find yet. And the main cities don't seem to think it's of major concern, as it's not affecting anybody outside of Hafen that I'm aware of. It seems to be the just our border here. Though I did hear of well, far to the north is a place called Ticknil, and I did hear in passing, mind you, it may have been just hearsay, or somebody trying to be, understanding, that there was something similar there too, but it's quite a distance away, and with Starly like this, we don't travel far.
What crops do you grow here?
Well,
That's
so I know, so like
that's so
brain
random.
switch. Brain switch.
That could be like poison crops or something. Come on.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So he lists off things that you would expect. Wheat, obviously, hay for the animals, corn also for the animals, and then for consumption. The flowering vines are known as, I had something pulled up, as lashling, are those beautiful different colors, and it's just lashling of different variations that, unless they're grown all together, they don't technically grow very well. For some reason, you have to have all the different types where they are. But as he's listing them off, and then of course, he also lists the Kimberly Tulsi, but none of them seem to be anything that anybody here would know is poisonous.
Have you noticed any strange behavior from the animals that you take care of?
No, it doesn't seem to be affecting the animals at all. They're happy and healthy, and I mean, healthy enough to where we're still going to be having an auction in another few weeks.
I'm not gonna say anything more to this guy since he already kind of shot me down. But I want to like, not secretly, but like intimidatingly, I want to like use my snout to like smell the kid.
Okay.
Like vaguely as I can, just if there's any weird like death smells or weird animal smells on him, or
Death smells, animal smells. Okay, so this is going to be a very, very, very high DC. I'm just letting you know. So roll your sniffer. Mm-mm.
No.
You smell kid. You smell health. They're
Wait, do I get advantage?
Yes.
I didn't roll an advantage. Oh hell yeah, nat 20 baby. 23
Okay.
total.
Nat 20.
Oh,
I'm gonna whisper. I'm gonna whisper you. You guys talk something. I don't know.
Hey, Awu, I got a question for you.
What'd you say?
Awu?
I was.
It's E away, so I don't know if Jax is being sarcastic or not.
Of course.
Yeah, I
Okay.
Trying.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of similar.
But just trying to be respectful here. If we're all gonna be hanging out a while, like, am I gonna have to worry about you losing some of your skin and giving away our location?
I
I'm just
actually
gonna
don't
look
know.
down at my feathers and see if I've lost any feathers.
I actually don't know how often lizards shed, so
Yeah.
If they're growing, it's every fucking 2 weeks.
Whoa.
well, I'm like a adult now, so
Not often, then. Not as often.
well, I usually get that done with once a year.
Okay, that's good, because it might have been kind of complicated if there's like pieces of you like always around. But I'm glad to hear that. Like, it actually makes me happy. So thank you.
Do humans not do that?
No.
Well, I mean, technically we do, but it's more of like a little powder. It's not ever noticeable. I mean, especially like if we are out in the sun too long, like little bits of skin can get damaged, and then there's a thing called dandruff, and then it kind of looks like snow on top of your head, but that's kind of not really too much to worry about.
I'm pretty sure you have to have hair to have dandruff. Anyway, that's freaking hilarious.
I've got hair. I've got a whole head of hair.
Like the most racist question too.
It was.
But it was
How
a good
often do you
question.
shed? It was a really good question. It was a very good question.
It made me think about the biology of what I am.
Yeah, for sure. So, Dorus, as you're smelling this child, the symbol of light that you've been seeing, it doesn't take long for your brain to learn to see through things and pass things. Suddenly becomes noticeable again in your vision. Not that you feel any kind of resonating with it, but as it was something that you wanted to protect people with, it's resonating with your emotions in this very moment.
Do I sense that the kid is in like pain or is taking damage somehow? Like he's being hurt?
No. That is the only thing you sense, and that is literally just because of the smell. Otherwise, the child smells just it's a smell of health.
Is the kid around right now?
Yeah, I mean, if y'all were having, like a back and forth, I would assume that y'all would walk back as, the father was maybe talking to the child or maybe just discussing something with Dorus.
I haven't said anything since I asked him to see the kid first. I'm just like observing him.
I would want to ask him, where does he normally play?
Well, he plays with the children here in the fountain, or sometimes he would work with me in the
Oh my
fields.
god, my character's gonna freak out. Because I was just playing in the fountain.
Oh. All the other children seem completely fine. Sometimes he would, he's, as most kids do, help us in our work during the day if there's nothing else for them to do, or play with his siblings and everything that every other child here does.
Do they play in any ruins or anything like that?
No. The only ruins around here are quite dangerous for children who are alone.
Where would these ruins be?
Well, you have the Temple of the First Ones, of course, which I'm going to assume is... Well, it's why most people are here. I'm not going to assume anything. And there's a couple dotted around, like most places in Valios. There's some to the north of Shalebinder. There's some, yeah, I wouldn't even call them ruins at this time, but to the east of Lindith, there's some stones that look like they may have once been, made by intelligent hands. But that's really it.
Solely,
Yes,
you have the ability to detect magic.
I do not.
Shame. Me neither.
What do you mean by detecting magic?
It's actually fairly self-explanatory. I thought,
Finding traces of
like,
arcana.
there's a spell that neither one of us can do that allows you to detect if magic's around.
So is it just kind of focusing really hard and seeing if you see magic?
That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
Huh.
You should try it. Maybe you can do it.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
I'm going to use detect magic.
Whoa.
Fucking Jax.
Way to bury the lead, jeez.
I know. Okay. Pop detect magic. Wait.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, he's a druid. I always forget about. He sounds like a fucking barbarian. That's true. I know. I'm just thinking, like, obviously. I'm gonna be amazed if you pull, like, my character's gonna be blown away.
Yeah.
Jax doesn't even know he's a druid.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So I'm just gonna start concentrating really hard on what they tell me to.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be egging him on. You're doing great.
Okay. Let me look at something really, really quick.
So, so me personally, I wanted to do it on the kid to see if there's any kind of spell or anything on him.
Okay. I would be doing what you told me to, so.
Okay.
Looking at the kid. So, literally, the kid's like standing there, and I'm just like,
Yeah. The father is like continuing to speak softly to the child as well as engaging everybody in a conversation. And you just stop deadpan and just start looking at the child. And he just kind of looks up to you, and it only takes a moment, right, for this to happen.
I'm letting him know. He's trying to detect if there's magic on him.
Oh, that has been done. Nobody was able to see anything. Jax, as you
We're only level 2. I mean, fuck off.
as you pop detect magic, if anybody is in your peripheral or in front of you that has their possibility that can be seen, those would glow with magic.
Whoa.
The fountain itself, the little spouts, glow with magic, but it's incredibly mundane. It's literally just like a small control water spell that just pops the water up. The water seems devoid of magic. The child doesn't seem to have any kind of magic glow on them at all. I mean, you don't even sense magic items on the people around you, other than your friends at this very moment.
You would probably see a faint bit of magic coming off some runes of my scimitars.
That would make sense, yes.
I
And
imagine my
also-
eyes are glowing.
And my
Yeah.
rod too. Like it will be.
Yeah.
And me, I'm just magical in general.
Yeah, super magical.
so as far as the kid himself, though, I don't see anything.
Mm-mm.
Well,
Little headache.
I see.
Crystal ball
Jack.
moment.
Jack shit. At least I'm the kid. But hey, you know what's pretty damn cool? You guys are glowing. So is that fountain over there. So I guess that's something I can detect. All right.
The fountain is glowing.
Yeah, like where all the little water thingy doohickeys are, where it's moving.
I'll go to the dad then. Who cast that spell on that fountain to make the water come out?
Oh, some from Sarentor created it. It's just a simple spell that for something that for the children to play in when it's hot.
Right, but I'm just wondering if somebody can create magic around here, maybe they can screw with your kids. You never know.
Well, of course the Sarentor can do magic.
Right, of course they can. How silly of me.
He just kind of looks strangely at you.
Look, I'm from the desert. I'm not from this area.
The Sarentor are light weavers.
No. Really?
Yes.
Interesting. I'll have to meet one. Someday.
You
Would I have
should.
known of them in my fucking desert area? I wouldn't think so. We've got plenty of light where I'm from.
Too much light.
Far too much light.
I'm still just observing the kid. Has he moved or done any actions or looked in any direction? Do his eyes look normal, or his eyes open or closed?
He's done a dodge action.
His eyes look normal, and he does blink, but it's not. It's a little bit slower than you would expect. His blinks, but that nothing seems to affect this child at all.
I'm
Well-
gonna be kind of running around the area, just looking at everything I can, because it lasts for 10 minutes. So it's like, oh nope, you don't light up. What about over here? Looking indoors and shit, and just
Okay, okay.
Anybody over here?
So as you're running around in and out of all these buildings, two things. One, the father looks over to the sunset, which of course is, you know, it's becoming dusk at this point. I really appreciate your concern. Thank you, strangers. It's nice to see somebody from afar care so much for what's going on in our little town.
How old is he?
Yeah,
6.5.
6 and
I remember being that age. It's sad.
Yes.
Our
I'm-
daughter says, "We appreciate the information and apologize. We cannot help further."
Oh, I think we should help further. I think we can help further.
so now that I'm thinking about it, so
What else are we doing?
So the kid like doesn't react to anything, right? The kid is just no emotion. Okay, so
Kick him in the balls.
I'm no poor kid.
What is wrong with you?
Maybe he'll react.
Yeah, because the first thing I think when Nemo said that, like, no, I don't think a child that age should be that sad. So I'm going to focus and cast minor illusion, and just to see if I can get a reaction from this kid, I'm gonna make an illusion of himself, like right at him, and see if the kid does anything.
In front of him?
Yeah.
Okay.
You broke her game already.
No. Like obviously I know what's going on with these people that have
I would hope so.
have this issue. So like I'm trying to think
Otherwise, we're fucked.
as a child, like what Okay. So the illusion pops up.
Yeah.
Does the other child have any kind of expression on their face?
Yes, it's happy.
It's a oh.
Yeah,
so you see Jack, the father,
Yeah.
look over, and his eyes start filling with tears, and he chokes back a sob.
How's that?
Starly, now that like Dorus and just about everybody except for Jax, who's running around super excited right now, which is so out of character, it's great.
Holy shit! That lights up too. Holy shit! That lights up too.
That guy's pants are laying up.
The
Magic
child,
pants. I wonder what they do.
yeah, totally interested.
They fold themselves.
Yeah, they fold themselves. So this child's eyes have been completely unfocused on anything at all. As this apparition appears in front of him, his eyes, you see them focus on a point, which would be this other Starly. And he blinks an extra time. And all you see, his entire reaction, is his fists ball up incredibly tightly
Whoa.
at his sides. That's it. That's all the reaction. But to where his knuckles are bright white.
I'm gonna point that to his dad. Do you see what Starly's doing with his hand?
He looks over.
Is he angry?
He's not an angry child. I don't... And he just starts crying openly. I don't know what this means. Why would he react to himself but not me or his mother?
I do not know.
This was
takes-
like a naturally lighter, not like a glowing.
No, not glowing. It's just like when you ball your fist and like your knuckles just turn white.
Yeah.
He gathers Starly up in his arms and just holds him as he's looking at the happy Starly image. And he just turns Starly's face and looks into his eyes. And as he turns Starly's face, you slowly begin to see his eyes unfocus again and his hands unclench. And he's, baby, tell me, talk to me. What is happening?
Well, I don't know about you guys, but we need to figure this out. We can't just leave him here.
No.
We can't leave this place like this.
I
I
do
am a
not.
bit curious though. What would happen if we gave him a knife?
Okay.
So Jack looks up in horror, still tears falling down his face.
That's
And he gathers up like a small basket next to him, which you see now looks like he had been to the market and stopped here to see if Starly would play. I will bring this to the Serentor, and they weave light. That is what they do. And see if there's anything else.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Yes.
He kind of like turns Starly and covers his ears, though he doesn't seem to ever respond to anything, and looks over at EOA. Don't have children. And with tears still dripping down his face, most likely begins walking home.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
So Jax, as you're running back and forth into all of these different businesses, the closest one is of course going to be the Dusong Tavern. And as you get closer, you notice that the pillars that hold up the porch covering are first off carved beautifully, but they have a very, very faint glow of illusion magic on them. And so you run through and you're like trying to see if there's anything else. And within the tavern itself, you don't immediately see anything. At this point, you're some crazy non-local running through all the buildings. But as you get close to the bar, you do see magic. There's a couple of bottles that glow, though nothing has been poured from these, so there's no glasses around with the stuff in it. You run out, you go through, like, you run into the bakery, kind of take a quick look around. It's not big, obviously. Like, the majority of a bakery is what's in the back behind the double doors, right? Nothing seems to glow here. You run into the craftsman building, which is just multiple different workstations of different kinds. A couple of the tools glow, and you see two items as you're just running through the different stalls, like literally just out the back. You see two items, one hanging behind one craftsman, one hanging behind another, that both have a glow. you run through the local market, which is like those 3 things. So you're just running down an aisle, coming back in, running down the other aisle, running out, and then coming back through another one. A glow does catch you in the fruit market. A single glow catches you through the fruit market within a crate of fruit. So you run out and you run over to what's left. The blacksmith. You don't see anything in the blacksmith that glows, and then you see a couple of small things that kind of glow on some people, but nothing that's like, oh my god, that's really cool. Just tiny glows, maybe on a ring or an earring.
Yeah, nothing like nobody having like an illusion on themselves to make them look like something else.
No.
Okay. So I'm assuming at this point now it's probably hit that 10-minute mark.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not a big place. You could probably run through the entire place in 10 minutes.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to the group.
Oh man, all the stuff disappeared. Hey, where'd the kid go?
Well, we did a bit of an experiment. I summoned an illusion of a happy version of Starly, and he was angry, fisting his knuckles very, very strongly. Never seen that before. I don't know what can cause somebody to hate their own reflection.
Huh. Did you try changing the emotion of the one that you made to see if it made him change his response?
I didn't.
Huh.
But it broke his father's heart.
That's interesting. Hey, did you know there's some glowing fruit over there?
I wouldn't need it.
I mean, shit, there's stuff all over here that's like By the way, how did that work? Like, everything just started glow. Like, that was cool.
You never used that spell before? First time?
That's the second time something happened that I was able to do and didn't know that I could do. First time was really freaky because I woke up and this like spaghetti thing was floating above me, and like I swung at it, but I didn't have a fist. Instead, I had like
anything
claws.
that might.
Like my fingernails were claws. It was freaking nuts. And then I tried to do it again, and it didn't work. So I don't know about that. But yeah. Anyways,
You should see someone about that.
Maybe I dreamt it though. I mean, you know, it did happen when I woke up. So maybe I just dreamt it. But
Was it during
anyway,
that, like, weird dream?
Sounds like a fever dream to me.
well, it was
We
just
all had
before
that.
I met you guys. So
We all had that weird dream.
you guys saw spaghetti things too.
No, we didn't see spaghetti things, but we asked you to. We were talking about a spell, and you were able to. Sounds like cast that spell. So potentially you have an affinity for magic that you're unaware of.
Huh. Well, I'll be damned.
You should go see a magical person.
Yes, it's both a gift and a curse. At least for me.
Oh, it's definitely a
Huh.
curse for me. Just
Yeah.
you wait.
Wait for what?
Never mind.
Don't worry about it.
Right. Well, it did get me thinking though. If one piece of fruit was glowing, and only a few people are affected by stuff, like maybe it's gotta be with something with that glowing piece of fruit.
It's a lead.
You all remember the strange creatures that tried to, intimidate or infiltrate our minds. Mites, nightmare mites.
I mean,
That's
it's
a
hard
good
to
point.
forget.
Well, I say this because I smell same smell when those mites explode and die. Same smell on child.
Well, that's not good.
I don't think I know how
Some
to use that.
sort of creature destruction. Like only when they destructed did I smell this before?
Well, the nightmare must have been in the kid's head, and that's why he looked angry at a happy kid. I mean, it is a
Possible that
nightmare
the
mite.
same
It can't be
creatures are in
happy.
this space. They may be doing same thing to these people.
Are these mites able to take over someone's mind?
I don't know enough about them. I'm only
Would need more.
14.
Maybe
I
something
need-
we should try to research.
I need Jax to roll a wisdom saving throw. Dorus, if I remember correctly, you had rolled fairly high on knowing what these things were. So if you want to
I don't
roll,
remember.
I think I wrote it in the notes. I'm pretty sure it was you, because I think it was based on your research. You can roll history or arcana to try and bring up more information.
19 total for me.
Very nice.
17.
17. Okay. I'll start with Jax. Jax. The memory that had come forward with these nightmare mites, and that smell and that understanding that somebody was using one on you. You don't have any memories. Was this the only creature that was used against you? You're not sure, obviously, because you don't have any memories up until you were rescued by that nice tabaxi woman. But they might be tied in some way. And as you're trying to physically draw memory that you've lost, the orb that's been spinning around your head begins to glow and pulse a little bit more, as if it's trying to help you. And you almost feel yourself being drawn back, almost as if like a flashback into that moment again, which was incredibly traumatic. But the pulsing of this moat, this possibility, kind of, you're able to focus on it and stay out of that. Dorus, you know a bit about the nightmare mites, and you do remember being in the shatter, in the collision, and being told that the nightmare mite was like the first stage of these creatures. So not only did y'all see 3 more types of these creatures, the ones that you fought, the larger ones that were coming at you, and then the major one that was the huge one that was coming towards you. But those can't be the only types. There's most likely others that live in this space of dreams or memory, because they affected you in your dreams, but they also tied you to a memory of other people. Do they all smell the same? You're not quite sure. Could have been the nightmare mites, but it could have been something that was just related to them. Because the smell would be very similar. So as you all, you all would see Jax's orb kind of doing this pulse as he stutters in a breath, but that's all it is, outside of your mind. But the kids seem to be leaving the fountain, and parents are gathering them up to head home before the sun sets to clean up and get ready for the evening meal. A few of the people that were just hanging around and talking make their way into the Dewsong Tavern. Shops are beginning to close. You see the open market. Some of the stalls are being covered. Is there anything that y'all want to do before the markets close? And where would y'all like to go after this?
I think I just want to investigate that fruit.
Okay.
I'm going to. I want to go to the market and buy like little, if I can, like little kind of tinctures, like little models, like medicine bottles.
Oh, like little empty vials?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
I don't know, 5 copper a piece, probably.
Okay.
Incredibly cheap. I mean, they won't be crystal. They're very foggy glass, many different sizes, shapes, different colors, but it's easy enough.
Okay.
Knowing what you know about this place and the types of herbs that they grow now, then most likely they... Yeah, 5 copper a piece. So he stops by and does that. The fruit, Jax, you would be able to take them to the crate of fruit that you saw. It's a strange fruit. Think of a kind of the shape of a pear, but it has a skin like a nectarine, like a thin, a very thin type nectarine skin, but the skin itself is sectioned, so it's like 4 little areas in a pear shape, but have a nectarine shape or skin on them. And it was only one out of here that you sensed was magical.
Could we just like... Is there anyone around here watching us?
Yes.
Okay, I'll pay for it.
Okay. So, you pay for it, and the kind young man behind it says, "Oh, you like rainment? There's not many people here who like rainment. I love them. They are my favorite. They're sweet and juicy, and they just leave this wonderful little tingle." It's 1 silver.
Okay, I'll actually buy 2. I would like to try it.
Okay.
So what's it called?
Rainment, Raynment, Rainment.
And it was silver, you said?
Yeah, silver a piece. There's not many here. I mean, there's a nice little bunch of maybe 2 dozen, but whereas like the oranges and the apples especially, there's tons of those. Doesn't seem to be many of these.
I'll eat the non-magical one.
Okay. It is... It has more of the texture of a pear. But you can tell as you bite into it, the outside, after you peel away the skin, the outside is a little bit bitter. And then as you get towards the center, almost kind of like a melon. It's incredibly sweet. Almost a buttery smoothness. And the tingle that the young man was talking about is a mint. It's almost like, you experiment, you breathe out and you breathe in, and you can feel the freshness and the tingle. It's incredibly different. Whether or not EOA would like it, I don't know.
I don't have opinions about this. Incredibly strange.
It was very strange.
I'll offer it to the rest. I only took like 1 slice or whatever.
Okay.
I'll try it.
I'll try it too.
Yeah, so you break the last 3 slices up, and you all have the same experience. It's different and interesting, and for anybody who doesn't like mint, you probably wouldn't be your favorite.
I can't say this is that enjoyable.
Have we all split off and done our own thing, or are we going all this together?
You can all spin off and do your own thing. I mean, everything is so close together. You can easily hop between everything as a group while they're closing up shop.
I would like to take a short walk around the outskirts of town, just like skirting the edge of town, looking around what's around the town, what's in the fields.
Okay.
What I'm looking for is if there's any nearby fields of that tulsi plant, tulsi flower.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not even going to make you roll for this. This would be on the eastern side. As you walk around, you don't it's as it's getting dark, the only way that you can see it is because the flower itself is luminescent twice a day, at sunset and at sunrise, as it almost seems to like expend some of the energy it's absorbed throughout the day, and then almost awakens in the morning. And it's not a massive field, but it's a field of the Tulsi plant, which shouldn't exist.
If there's no one around, I would like to try and grab maybe like 3 sprigs of this flower. And I have a notebook in my adventuring kit. I'd like to put it in the pages of the notebook to like smash it like people dry out some flowers, you know?
Yeah, I don't think anybody would stop you. Everybody's heading home to eat dinner for the night or heading to the tavern for their meal and, socialization or whatever that looks like.
Well, I do that, and then I just wait by the fountain by the
Okay.
tavern.
Yeah, I'll just take a stroll, just look around while I'm going to the tavern.
It's beautiful here as the sun sets. If you go with Dorus around the edge of town, the first thing you notice, of course, is these plants, as they just kind of give off a faint luminescence, as if you're stepping on the beach that has the luminescent algae, the bioluminescent algae. It's not long. Maybe if you were to sit and watch 5 minutes, as it just kind of lets off these little photons of light. But every crop has a different color at this time of day. The fields of hay just glow themselves. If you walk around the south side in those rows of the plant. I wrote it down. I don't see it. The Lashland plant.
Whoa.
They like as the sun, the sky turns this orange and then this blue. They glow almost. It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. Just making sure nobody wants to do anything else before we all meet up back at the Do Song Tavern.
I might just do like window shopping of the blacksmith, but I'm not gonna buy anything.
Okay. Most of the stuff here seems to be tools implemented in farming. Horse bridles, bits, shoes, spurs, just anything that can mostly be used around here. Shears, those kinds of things. There are a couple of weapons, but they look like they were probably commissioned. They're a little bit too beautiful to be used as weapons in fighting, so most likely commissioned for events or for presents or that kind of thing.
Like ceremonial.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay. So... Oh, you sent me a message? Okay.
That was a long time ago.
I'm sorry. So you all meet up at Dusong Tavern, and Jax did see this. Double visioned. It's a simple yet beautifully crafted wooden building. A large covered patio with carved pillars that hold up the roof. The pillars are carved in scenes from the valley, the mountains, the even the fields, some of the flowers, some of the like birds flying in the air on some of them. It's very beautiful and interesting, and those that have a higher perception, I don't even know, maybe one person here does, would see like slight movement as the birds almost shift in a wind, but of course it's carved. The windows themselves are stained glass. There's large, heavy wood sliding doors, like barn doors almost, that are completely open, and on the outside of them on either side you see fairies and fae dancing and drinking and eating and doing what the fae do best. And inside, the wooden floor seems to be polished with amber. It just glows, and it reflects the twinkling lights that hover over each table. Not lanterns or candles, they're magical lights. And some of these ceremonial weapons that you saw, EOA, very similar, hang in ornamental holders on some spots in the walls, and then others you see on a rack by the door, as though just, short swords and that kind of thing. People that maybe work on the farms or ranchers themselves would carry crossbows to protect their animals. Over in the bar, you see a pair of furbolgs, both men. One of them seems to be kind of guiding the other to a task, and starts holding his hands to wipe out a cup, and then he turns back to the bar and smiles and talks to a couple of the patrons here. What would you guys like to do?
What was the last bit? He cut out.
Yeah.
Oh, did I cut out? So after he assists this other furbolg, he just turns to the other patrons and begins talking and serving, just having a nice chat. So if y'all would like to take a table, get some drinks, get some food.
Definitely get some food for sure.
Yeah, I'll get some drinks and some food. We're gonna ask.
All day.
Huh?
Have we even eaten all day?
So technically, since you awoke, in y'all's minds, it's been maybe total 4 hours. But it's night. And when you left Avonvon, it was 4 a.m.?
Well, we can totally crash after all the adrenaline today.
I'd like to ask around a bit first before we turn in, see if we get more information about what's happening to these children or these people. Maybe more.
What is it that you were able to detect?
Well,
I'll
As I
place
s-
the fruit on the table.
Huh?
I'll place the fruit on the table in front of us,
Oh, okay.
so like to present everyone.
were you talking to me, Tim, or no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I couldn't quite tell. Well, as I said, it is smell I recognize of child, and it is of the small mites that were trying to infect our minds. And it is only when they were destroyed, they destroy into a poof of dust or mist or smoke or something. Smell just like that. Very faint though, not like there was creature there and died there, just very faint of same smell.
On the child.
Yes.
We need to know more about these creatures.
Do you think this fruit has to do anything with anything?
I don't know.
With the
What is the
detect
fruit?
with the detect magic, would it be able to tell like what type of magic it is?
Yeah, it does detect the school.
So, the School of Magic... Hold on one second. The School of Magic, it would have been, divination.
But you said it was only one piece of fruit, right?
Just that one piece of fruit.
Does it?
I think maybe someone is poisoning people in town with some sort of magics.
I don't know if it's the nightmare mite creature things. I don't know if that's how it works. It seems to me like it's more complicated than that.
Maybe it is like marker for them. Someone eats fruit and then they're easy to control or do whatever to mind.
Would one of us like to be a test subject?
I'll take a bite.
Okay.
Are you sure about that?
Like before you reach for it, I'm gonna like grab it and pull it away. Like, are you thinking clearly?
I mean, I just don't think it has anything to do with fruit.
I mean, so whoever eats this thing, let's say the mites do come after them. Are we able to protect them, or is it solely for them to protect themselves? Like, how's that work?
I think based on what we've seen, there's nothing that you guys would be able to do. Unless you want to just conjure illusions of happy people.
Well,
Fun.
don't these mites come out into the real world, I should say. Like, we fought them inside our room.
I mean, if the vision is to be believed, I guess so, yes.
Yeah, their bodies were there after you defeated them physically in your room.
Like, they were on top of us while we were dreaming.
Well, how were we able to connect with them then?
I guess we just have to wait until you fall asleep. And then we stalk your room.
Or we could do that with the kid that's suffering.
Not certain that father will let us anywhere near child again.
Father doesn't know what to do with this kid.
I think that kid suffered enough, though.
Yes.
And he suffers still.
Yeah, but who knows what a second dose of this would do, if it is the fruit that's affecting him.
Oh, Jesus, it's not the fruit.
Well, he did tell us. He did tell us first infected person was named Glenty. He must be infected for a long time now. Maybe we see who this is, and if their symptoms are worse or if they have more experiences.
Whoever would be paying attention to the room around you, roll perception for me.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're not, like, if you're keeping your eye on this fruit, so that, you know, the child doesn't inhale it, then that makes sense, anyway. Like, the one person you know.
Yeah, I got a 5. I was like, it's like,
I'm gonna roll 2. I think I'd be watching, but yeah.
Must don't these nightmare mites specifically target children? From what I've been told.
I thought he said there's adults too. No. Yeah,
Yeah,
roughly
there was
3 children and 2
2
adults have
adults.
been affected.
Yeah.
Well, all of you guys were infected, and you're not children, so.
No, as far as the affliction goes, there was
Oh, as far as the affliction goes.
3
Yeah,
children
but
and 2 adults.
just in terms of what our
Yeah.
thought process is.
So the lady who's been walking between the tables walks close to you as I can't remember now who, I'm sorry, said Glinty. And she stops. She looks over at the table. Well, strangers, I've never seen you in here before, but you're talking about the owner's brother. Is there something that I can help you with?
Well, yes, we heard from a worried father outside that this Glinty is some sort of affliction. We thought we might try to assist.
So she looks over at the bar with the 2 furbolg, and y'all did see one of them assisting the other starting to clean a glass before he turned back around to the bar. And she looks over. I don't think there's anything that you strangers could do to help our
Well,
Glinty.
We had our own fight with those things not long ago. Well, sorry. We had a similar issue.
We might
Come.
think
That is to say, we believe we may have a lead on it. That's all I want to say.
If you had a similar issue, I can assure you it was something completely different because nobody here has been able to come out of it.
Clearly,
Is there something that I can get you folks to eat or drink?
I'm going to eat this piece of fruit.
whatever you recommend.
Well, we have ghost pies for tonight. And barley biscuits, if that's okay with you.
does
That's fine.
so this is
Right.
the owner, we're talking to?
No, it's just like the only person that seems to be helping out and serving tables.
I want
What
to insight
about-
check
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
know if this brother liked to eat this type of fruit?
Not that I'm aware of. There's not many people that enjoy that fruit.
This one's special.
Insight. A 16. Very nice. So she seems very, very protective and put off that y'all are asking about Glinty. And is giving you a look of, don't fuck with our Glinty. Seems to be a very special person, and I believe somebody else told you that he was one of the kindest people here. I think it may have been the father. But you can glance over to the bar, and you do see him just sitting there at the moment with a cloth inside of a glass. Not looking, just same look that Starly had. Just continuously wiping it out.
I'm gonna look at the lady.
What's the stiffest drink you got?
Bourbon.
I'll take one of those.
Food.
Maybe a little meat.
Alright.
Have any fish?
Not tonight, we don't.
What do you serve? Just out of curiosity.
Whatever the ranchers are able to spare for the tavern for the day.
Hope it's not chicken.
It's goose.
I can't eat. Never mind.
Would you like some vegetables?
Are chickens your cousins?
I just can't eat another flying creature. It seems odd.
So anybody getting food and a drink, it is 5 silver a
Okay.
piece. So it is goose pie with barley biscuits and cider, ale.
Cider.
Okay, water or, a bourbon.
I'll leave the inn and go. Well, I'm gonna eat this fucking fruit
Okay.
first off.
Go ahead.
So
I'll tell him. I'll be like, look, I think it's fine. I don't. We'll just keep an eye out for what does happen because clearly it's been tampered with.
So, you grab this fruit, and nobody stops you.
Go
You
right ahead.
peel it, and you look at it, and you take a bite. I need you to make an insight check for me.
I'm gonna be totally watching his face during this.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
16 again. Okay. So as you're chewing this fruit, it's the same strange sensation. With that weird minty thing going on.
I'm not chewing. I'm more like pecking at it. I think.
Birds bite things, but okay.
I mean, kind of.
But as you breathe in and you feel that mint, you feel something else. That same feeling that you got during the transformation of the possibility, where magic erupted from you. Though it, instead of just raw arcane energy erupting from you, this is almost an infusion, very small, if you took a small bite, of arcane energy. Just pure energy. You can regain your spell slot.
Okay. Cool.
Like with the hand on the hilt of my sword, I guess. The handle.
Sweet.
I just like, are you
Ooh.
okay?
I feel energized.
No tentacle monsters?
Not that I can tell, no. Feel normal, I think. But better.
Maybe if you feel better, we could give a piece to old Glinty over there.
Here, why don't you guys try it? You
I'll
want to
just
try to
finish
give this
the
piece
rest
of
of what
fruit
he
to
was eating.
Glinty? Knock yourself out. I don't want to get pummeled.
What did you say, Eoway?
I'll just finish the rest of what he was eating.
Okay. It's different for you. It's not raw arcane energy.
It tastes like pineapple.
It tastes like pineapple. As you breathe in and you have the same minty sensation, in your mind is almost a brief, it's almost like an insight into the energy of the possibility when it was turning into a rune and how runes are formed. It's like you almost have an epiphany and then it just fades. But you do regain your reaction.
Or my
Or,
whatever it's
yeah,
called,
your
action
yeah.
surge.
action search.
I do feel better.
See? I'm not crazy.
Is there any fruit left, or did you eat it all?
There's still 3 slices left.
I look over at Jax and I say, I like this idea. We need to see if effects on Glinty, maybe.
Go ahead. Take my slice. I'm not eating it.
Hey,
You're eating it?
Scully,
No, I'm not.
Okay.
why don't you go take a piece over to Glinty and see if you might be able to get him to take a bite.
Just keep in mind, it could make it worse.
There's 2 furbolgs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are they like standing 1 foot from each other? Are they across the bar? Are they looking at each other?
So Glinty is standing in the exact same place he was. The brother doesn't seem to wander far from him, specifically when he has glass in his hand. So he wouldn't be very far off right now. They're just, within hand's reach of each other.
I'll go with Doris.
Okay.
I wrap the fruit up in, like, is there a cloth napkin or something I can wrap it in? Before I go over there. And I hold it in with my hand. Not sure how this will go down, but I think we still need to try.
Yeah, why not? Let's go.
Perhaps you talk to brother, and I talk to Glinty, like
Sure.
quietly. And Nemo, if you can, maybe send a message to Glinty to eat this before we get there.
Not sure I want to. I mean, we saw what happened with the kid last time we screwed with it.
Very true.
Maybe it makes it worse.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I get them to respond to me to get them to eat it.
Well, I
mean,
could make.
oh, I can only tell you what I felt, and what I felt was a connection to magic. I don't know if enhancing a connection to magic is what he needs.
Can you send pictures in head or only words?
Well,
Only words.
I can make an illusion of him eating the fruit. However, I don't think it was probably an emotion. I should probably not make it happy. I think it'll make him very mad. But I could make an illusion of him eating the fruit, emotionless.
Yes, but I'm sure brother will not appreciate this.
He will not. That'll freak him out. Make things worse.
We could always make a distraction.
I can do distractions.
I mean, I'm not doing anything. I might have a trick or two.
Same here.
I'm mostly worried about second Furbolg stepping in, you know?
Probably will. Very overprotective, it looks like.
Is there a performance stage in this tavern?
There isn't. Oh my
Unfortunately,
gosh.
not.
Is there like, I don't know, like something somewhere centric or
Just stand
Oh.
at the table.
So I will say, like, this place is just a gathering spot for the few, I don't know, maybe 1,200 people that live in this area. Maybe like in the greater area of this part of the valley, that farmers and that kind of thing. There is no like stage in here. You do know of the place right outside of the town hall building where it looks like most of the gatherings and events happened, but this just doesn't look like a place that they have events. I mean, there's tables in the room now. There's a center of the room.
Oh, I
think
got
you
the
like-
idea. What about those lights you did earlier, the flying light balls?
What about him?
We put those like under counter or something. Distract Furbog to go look at them while I talk to Glinty.
I might be able to do like a sword dance.
and I can summon an illusion of a lion dancing to the lights, trying to get it.
If we can distract brother, I like your idea of putting him eating fruit in front of himself. Might
Oh, okay.
do something to his mind, no?
Yes, could work. Sounds like a plan.
So as y'all wrap up your plan, your server comes in with y'all's food, drinks. Is there anything else I can get for you? Because is there anything else I can get for you?
No. How much is rooms over the night?
We
Rooms or
have
beds?
We have beds. We have a single room with a couple of large beds for the drunkards.
Is there anyone else staying here for the night?
She kind of looks around the place. Nobody's drunk enough yet. So, as of this moment, no.
As you probably know, we are traveling through. We were told this is the only place with beds.
There's beds.
How much?
A silver for the night. The sheets are at least clean. Won't be the most comfortable sleep you've probably ever had, but this is not generally a place where people just pass through.
We're getting this picture. But we will utilize beds if they are available for tonight.
Sure.
So,
We have too many drunks, they can sleep in the stables.
does she, I don't know, does she look annoyed with us? Like she doesn't, because she,
A little bit.
I don't know.
A little bit.
She's still pissed we asked about Glinty.
Yeah.
Sure.
Nobody knows what happened to these people, and Glinty seems to be a favored member, or was a highly, like, respected member of, Haven. So,
Yeah, I noticed the attitudes. I get, well, it looks like we got on the wrong foot here. Didn't mean to pry.
but as you guys start your meal
Yeah.
and work out your plan, we will end here for the night.
What? Oh, sorry.
We got through, 5 pages.
We got through all 5 pages.
We got
That's
through
insane.
all 5
Yes.
pages.
I thought we were going really slowly, so that's good.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought we were like
Yeah.
on page 3 or something.
Half of page 5 is not done,
Oh, okay.
which is fine. Which is okay, because it will still
Yeah.
happen.
Oh my gosh. Yes, a cliffhanger. Like,
I
what's
was
gonna
really
happen?
on board to try this plan, and then I realized we would have nowhere to stay tonight. As soon as we do anything to this guy, we're gonna get booted out of the entire fucking town.
I mean,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can always sleep in the stables.
Unless they don't know that we did something to them.
Well, that's why I said maybe we should think about staying here tonight and then sneaking in somehow, or finding the guy in the morning somehow. I don't know.
I mean,
Has
if the
anybody thought
distract-
about just talking with him?
Well,
Yeah, but I
Well,
think
they-
everybody's reluctant to because she's already pissed, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and the
so-
father got pissed when I asked to look at his son too. So it's like they're all really protective of these people,
Yeah.
whatever reason.
That is
Yeah,
a
like-
child. This is an adult. It might be a little different. Might be. Depends on how
so it's not
persuasive
this
y'all
lady,
are.
it's just a not very nice lady.
They said that don't mess with him, so I'm going to assume that we shouldn't even be going near him.
At this point, I'm just happy.
Now
to
we
have
figure it out
food
next
and
week.
Drink.
At this
Maybe we
point, you're
can
what?
finalize our plan over the week.
Just happy
Yeah.
to have food and a drink and ready to watch what these guys do. This is
Yeah, the food is
entertainment
good.
with my meal.
So if nobody has, I know I posted this a long time ago, but in Avonvon history, there is mention of stuff that can happen with fruits and that kind of thing.
Oh, that's
Um,
right. I forgot about all that. Yeah, because we have the infusions and shit,
Yeah.
Residium and all that stuff.
So Dorus would probably have an idea. It was probably something that the council was starting to discuss because it like more and more of the stuff had been popping up. So Dorus might have an idea more so than most people of that kind of history, but I just wanted to remind y'all because it has not come into effect yet, and it was posted quite a bit ago.
Right.
So I'm sorry we didn't get to combat tonight, guys.
No, that's fine.
But
Yeah,
I hope.
super interesting.
Okay, good. Good. I promise there was 2 combats. But for some reason, and I should have known, I didn't think that the kid and this affliction would catch your attention immediately. I'm glad it did. I'm glad it did.
That was a plot hook.
There's always plot hooks, right? So if y'all want me to, I will drop this in your quest tracker
Sure.
because this is going to be an ongoing thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That way nobody forgets about it.
Is this how you feel in my campaign with all the mysteries?
I would say hers at least are generally like typically going to be like usually there's only one going on at a time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mainly
Now-
because I can't keep track of multiple mysteries.
Now I will say I started making this stuff for my Starfinder game and I found myself thinking about you with all of the shit that's going to be going on in the background. I was like, fuck, my game is going to be so like there's going to be so much shit going on that I'm not going to be able to tell them about. So,
Welcome to the DM's life.
dude. Well, so we started playing just like pre-made stuff, right? And I was like, I don't mind doing the pre-mades, but you have to read all that shit anyway to like have an idea for what's going on. And I'm like, you know what? I'd just rather make my own stuff. I don't really feel like reading through all this stuff and running. I don't know. It's just more fun when you get to create your own characters and your own story.
That's just how I feel about like different worlds. Like I have to create my own because I'm not gonna read through all of that.
Yeah. Well, some of those adventures, like you have to get the book, right? And then just for the rules and like the settings and all that stuff. And then you have to get the actual adventure itself. It's like hundreds and hundreds of pages worth of shit. It's like, dude, I don't know. It's just easier. It's easier for me to just go through and make my own shit. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to definitely, looking at the history, we definitely need to be thinking more about that stuff.
So would the
The,
history be like all of our characters would know generally?
So you can decide what your character would know. It's easy for Darus because he was a student of, Yeah, hold on. Of a council that studied events and multiple different types of magic, specifically on a singular line, but also branched out a bit. So if you feel like your character would have come across some of that knowledge, while they're traveling, or maybe for Soli if you know, in the Feely Fields, if something had been found and, you know, somebody went to the main city to try and figure out what was going on, whatever that looks like, it's up to you guys, what your characters would know. But it is something that I want y'all to be aware of as players. So as y'all are doing things like detecting magic in a fruit stand, you know that's like it's sparklies, you know, and in RPGs, those are the sparklies in World of Warcraft that are like, ooh, you need this plant, not these 6 around me, but this one.
You said that so condescendingly, like you're going and checking out magic and fruit. You said it like, as you guys were all checking out magic and fruit or
in
some
fruit
shit.
stands. I really it was perfect because I was able to introduce residuum.
That's true.
There are 10 boars and only one is magic.
Yep,
You have
exactly.
one knife.
you have one arrow, one bolt.
You
Anyway,
have 1 bullet and 10 enemies.
I'm gonna turn off
Decide how
stream.
you want to use it.
Night, if anybody else is here. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye bye.